Despite it being too early to make predictions, we asked our Frank Leboeuf to give us just that.
Oh.
This is how he feels the Premier League will finish come next year. He has Arsenal winning again, Chelsea coming in second, Manchester United coming in third again, love you Frank, Liverpool fourth, and Manchester City finishing in fifth. So, Frank, despite Jules and Alice saying it's a bit early, we can't really have two real concerns about Manchester City. It sounds like you do, because a little birdie told me you actually originally had City finishing second again, but after what you saw in the Community Shield, you dropped them to fifth.
Exactly. We are judging on one game, present time, and according to the guys, what they said, Manchester City are not ready. They are missing players. Some are not fit. I don't see Gueye on the bench. I see maybe Gueye instead of Guardiola. Guardiola may be somewhere else. For sure, Anderson wasn't ready. I don't even talk about Alan, who was a ghost. So they're not ready. I played 2 Community Shield. I never thought that was a friendly game. That was a preseason game. That's not a preseason game. When you are 1 week away from the beginning of the Premier League, it's not a friendly game. It's a game you have to win because fans are coming to Cardiff to see you playing. And it's not a friendly game because you have to win, because you're going to be judged. And that's what we got to do. What we are seeing right now is Arsenal are spot on. City, they're not ready. So they're going to lose points at the beginning of the season, which makes me think that can be unbearable for the fans, can be impossible to catch up for the players and the Maresca. I cannot be positive. I thought that we could be second, and it's what I thought before the game. But after the game, I say, well, how long is it going to take them to be finally ready? Maybe, as Jules said, new players going to come in the middle of the park, where we know it's very important. So therefore, it's impossible for me to see City before the 5th. I don't know what's going to happen to Chelsea, Manchester United, your lovely club, or Liverpool, because they are in doubts too. But we are judging in the present time, and we saw a game where Arsenal are ready, and if it carries on like that, they're going to win the Premier League, and a team so far away from them. So it would have been, for me, kind of outrageous to say that they're going to finish second, because it's so far away from there. So it's why I say 5th.
All right. Jules, I know you have a lot of respect for Frank as your fellow Frenchman, and he gave you that 98 World Cup, but what do you make of his early Premier League predictions?
I think it's difficult because, like we've been saying, and Frankie just said it too, some of those teams are not ready. The squads are not complete yet. There will be new arrivals. There'll probably be some departures too. And it's really hard to judge and to gauge where everybody will be at in September, for example. So I think we always have a bit of fun with those predictions, but they're always very difficult to give early August, for example. So I can get his point completely about City. You can make a similar point about Liverpool, for example. You can also say that Chelsea and Spurs won't have any European competitions this season, which will be a massive help for Xabi Alonso and for Roberto De Zerbi, and that they have done good business, early business, and that their squads at Chelsea and Spurs compared to the squad at Liverpool or at City is more complete and more ready already for the start of the season this weekend. So all of this is completely understandable. I would still have City higher than 5th, but it's also a transition season that can well see them a bit struggling for sure.
I have a housekeeping question. General question, really, not just for Frank, but really for the producer of the show. Are we allowed to not have a pick for Player of the Year? Because Frank apparently was too good for it and said he doesn't care. We are always asked to do this, and there's a demand for us to come up with answers. So there's a preferential treatment for Frank as to he doesn't have to make a choice. Is this how it works?
He has won a World Cup, so I think that's
it.
Apart. Yeah.
Also,
I made a choice. And I was polite. I was polite when I said that, because I don't give a stuff like Craig Burley would say. I don't and you know me, I don't like the Ballon d'Or, I don't like the Player of the Year, and I put the top scorer, which is already a big time for me. But really, the Player of the Year, who cares? Stop asking me that. I don't want to answer to that. And if you have to break my contract because I don't give an answer to that question, I'm very sorry, but I will have to go.
No.
We're in a democracy.
Okay,
None of us have that power to break a contract.
Right.
Frank.
And if we're going to break the contract for any reason, it's for the fact that you actually just put yourself in the same category as Craig Burley. So if that's where you want to be, that's on you, Frank. That's on you.
That's on you, Frank. But Frank, let me ask you then about Chelsea, because of course, you have them finishing second now, 10th last season, so that's quite the jump. Jules pointed out some of the positives that they have done this summer, especially in the transfer window. So is that the main reason behind why you see your former club finishing as runner-up?
Well, of course, the heart is talking, that's for sure, and you have to expect a good thing. As Jules explained, they're not involved in European campaign, so that would be for them, maybe a relief and for some players a time to recover. And I want to see Chelsea better. They have the individuals for that. They have the squad. They have, I think, the coach for that, who can do miracles, and we saw that with Bayer Leverkusen working with young players. So I want to believe that it's possible. And it's impossible for me to put Manchester United before Chelsea. That's impossible. I cannot do that. Unless they play many games and they win 3-4 times, 3-0, I cannot say Manchester United is better than Chelsea. That's the blood talking.
It's okay, Frank. I'll forgive you for that one. But Ale, what do you make of Frank's top five, rather?
Right. Look, all I know is that there's Arsenal, there's a big gap, and then there's everybody else. And in that everybody else, all of this from Chelsea down to Manchester City, even to Spurs, they could all mix and match in terms of position. We're here projecting.
Yeah.
That's true.
But honestly, we're guessing. We're guessing. We don't know. We don't know what Liverpool is going to be. We have no idea what Manchester United are going to be. Chelsea, who knows? We assume that they'll be better. I mean, it's not going to take much for them to be better, but we assume that they're going to be better. And Frank has Spurs at 6, and it's a big jump for them too.
Yeah.
It's a big assumption that that team is going to get that much better. But all I know for certainty, 100% certainty is there is Arsenal, gap, and then everybody else. And this everybody else is a mix-up of a bunch of teams that we have no idea what they're going to be.
Jules, do you think it's like that? Do you think it's just Arsenal and we'll see where the rest fall? Or do you at least see one that could probably be a strong contender?
No, I agree with Ali. I think it's Arsenal and then a gap and then the rest, really. And then we see who's the best of the rest and who can try to cause problem to this Arsenal team. On the day, anything is possible. We know that in football, whatever league, whatever club you follow, everything. There's a very early Arsenal away at Villa, for example. There's a very early Arsenal-Chelsea at the Emirates as well. All those 2 games in the first 3 weeks of the season. So we will know quite quickly if Chelsea or Villa, for example, are able to compete with Arsenal certainly early on. But it's the consistency over the 38 games. And even without William Saliba, who is arguably Arsenal's most important player, let's say, who is out probably until December, even without him, so even without their best player, they're still clearly above everybody else. So it will take something quite strong for somebody else to be able to push them and compete for very long this season. But I think over the season, if they don't do anything silly, the consistency will be too strong for anybody else to follow. So yeah, I agree. I think they are too strong right now. But then through the season, with the Champions League, with everything else, let's see who else can push them and try to compete with them.
Dare I say, Arsenal are looking very much like Bayern Munich. Ooh. And dare I say, the Premier League is looking very much like Bundesliga. It's been decided before it even started. I'm just telling you.
I feel like you miss Bundesliga.
Oh, well,
it's coming back,
Ale. I'm just letting you know that's how strongly I feel about Arsenal, and then everybody else.
Ale also was the recipient of a signed Bayern Munich shirt today, so that's why he had to give Bayern a little shout out. We took about 2 hours trying to decipher the signature.
If you give me gifts, then potentially I like you better.
He got a Bayern Munich signed shirt plus a football.
Well, people love me. What can I tell you?
What can we say?